Hey there, I'm Simon Spalding and welcome to my first review. So with Blade Runner 2049 in theaters now, I figured I might as well go back to the original and give my thoughts on that before I go see the sequel. So Blade Runner was released in 1982. It was directed by Ridley Scott, who you might know made Alien, one of the greatest science fiction movies ever made. So the story takes place in 2019 Los Angeles, and in this universe, humans have developed artificial intelligence to the point that they're basically exactly like human beings. We call these artificial beings replicants, and they're used as slave labor on other planets to develop new civilizations so that we as humans can spread ourselves throughout the rest of the universe. However, when a group of replicants start a mutiny on one of these sites, they're declared illegal on Earth, and a special group of police officers called Blade Runners hunt them down and destroy them. That's where Harrison Ford's character comes in. He's assigned to destroy some replicants, and we have ourselves a movie. Another thing I should bring up about this movie is there are a ton of different cuts of it. I think there's 6 different cuts in total. I've only ever seen the original theatrical cut, and I just rewatched the final director's cut. I can definitely say that the final cut is the better overall film, for sure. And I'm just gonna get this out of the way. Everyone says this about this movie. It looks visually phenomenal. Ridley Scott clearly knows how to make a movie look really good, and that's by far his biggest asset as a director. Just look at his filmography. Movies like The Martian, Prometheus, Gladiator, just off the top of my head, those are other films by him that look really, really good. So I would agree with most people in saying that this movie is a visual masterpiece, but as far as an actual masterpiece as an all-around film, not so much. Let's talk about the things I liked, obviously other than the visuals. Harrison Ford, of course, is great as usual, and Rutger Hauer in this movie plays a replicant named Roy, and he's fantastic. I don't remember his performance being quite that good the first time I watched this movie, but he definitely grew on me. As a whole, there aren't any really bad performances from this cast. It's pretty well acted. However, what I think brings this movie down is the pacing and the story being pretty convoluted. As far as the pacing goes, don't get me wrong, I like when a movie slows down a little bit and makes you focus on the characters rather than just having everything explained to you. And I don't really like the word pretentious normally, but there are some scenes that go on way too long and come across to me as just pretentious. I won't spoil any of the story for those of you who haven't seen this movie, but there are definitely some plot holes, and if you pay enough attention, you're gonna notice them. Back to another thing that I liked about this movie, I really liked the sets. The streets of LA in this movie feel really dirty and crowded and full of nastiness, and it just feels like you're actually in that world. Also, if you've seen this movie, then you probably know there's a pretty big debate amongst the audience as to whether or not Harrison Ford's character is a replicant. Now, personally, do I think he's a replicant? I think there's a very strong possibility that he is. There's little details that only the keen eyes in the audience will catch that give you a clue that, oh, look at that. Maybe he is a replicant. But there are certain elements that make you question, like, if he is a replicant, why is he different from all the other replicants in these ways? But I did really like those subtle details that actually make the audience think. And really, that's what this movie is. It's a thinking movie. With the slow pacing, you're definitely going to have a lot of time to think about what this movie really is about. And what it really is about is what exactly is a soul, and if we do develop artificial intelligence sometime in the future, what are we going to treat those life forms like? In the end, I definitely recommend you check out Blade Runner because it is a very good thinking science fiction movie. It does have its problems, but it's still pretty good nonetheless. I don't think it's a masterpiece like a lot of other film buffs do, but I certainly enjoy it, and at the end of the day, I'm gonna give Blade Runner a 8.3 out of 10. It's definitely an interesting watch, just don't go into it expecting it to be the greatest movie ever because it's not. Well, that's it for this review. Thanks everyone for clicking on the video. Be sure to give it a thumbs up if you liked it. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Subscribe to my channel and share this. Tell your friends where to find me. Thanks everyone and have a great day.